Well, that's Texas in the upper left. Notice like that hook developing. We saw this about 3 weeks ago, and that hook turned into a low pressure system that followed the jet stream all the way up past Greenland and then went over and gave Great Britain a run for its money. High winds and rain and cold. Over on the right is that giant system that just popped up and continued to grow and grow. It's completely taken the equatorial belt and makes it run north and south. Parallel to that is the jet stream. So you know when your equatorial belt is running north and south, something isn't right. Now that we followed that storm, it actually has two eyes in it, and of course you'll see some interference here too. But I mean, you look at the Pacific, and there's no water in the Pacific. There's no moisture. There's no equatorial belt. This is amazing. I've never seen this persist for this long, and those giant vortexes are sucking water up. This is the west coast, Northern California, Oregon. You see a spinning system coming through. You see the bands of water peeling off and going all about. That giant system plunged down and merged and butted up with a drier system, shredded the water. The water did not, all fall in California, and because of the high rate of spin, the precipitation totals were diminished. So, they got a little water in Cali. But look at this system. It started out looking like a jet stream, but look how perfectly spherical the rings are on that system that's plunging south out of the Gulf of Alaska and headed towards California. And that met Northern California at the same time this system met Northern California. You can see the buffer or the barrier in between the two systems. The one on the bottom was a low spinning system that actually started low south, went up to California, went back down south, and then turned around and went right back up again. I watched that storm traverse twice. Amazing. And again, we're seeing the weird interference coming and going with respect to the image. And when we look at the water totals because what we're doing is we're looking at cloud top. When you see this type of image, we're looking at the cloud top. There's no moisture anywhere. And here's that wave that comes down from the south, changes the color. And that orb, look at the very top, that white, bright, that was bizarre. It was giving off radar signals. It was giving off pulses. When you look at it closely, it has its own weather system. You can see it blink off and on. It looks like some of this has been whited out. And it actually had rings, like radar rings, emanating from it, coming north of Alaska. And it was there on more than one satellite image. And so when you had that wave come down, you wondered what role it has. But I went back to look for that anomaly today, and it's gone. So obviously it has to be something, because if it was a product of just normal functioning, it would still be there. This is that double system over on Spain. Madrid got like 7 inches of rain in a single day. The flooding was not pretty. The storm is going to hang there and keep shoveling water in through Spain. So our prayers to you guys. And Spain gets some of the most incredible street flooding I have ever seen. Italy too at times. But this street flooding will kill you. And these floods in Spain have been deadly. And they've been having them periodically. 2019 they had a couple. And early 2020, September. ungodly amounts of water coming in. So our thoughts and prayers. And they've had some bizarre videos coming out of Spain where the entire trains were flooded. Underground subways were completely flooded. People drowning in subways. Crazy, crazy stuff going on. So we're hoping that plunging, spinning, kind of dry, cool northern vortex coming down into California is going to bring additional rain. They're predicting rain in the southwest, but we saw where they were predicting 4 inches and got 0 about a month and a half ago. So they can make this rain disappear overnight if they wanted to. So keep an eye on it. Always keep an eye on these weather maps. If you need a link to any of those, please let me know. Also, I wanted to thank Jersey Dolphins. If you remember the video, we made a prediction about strandings happening on or before the November 1st. Right around that time, they had a significant stranding event, and he's running that, keeping that in track. I'm actually working with a group of people who do strandings. I'm trying not to get them put in the middle of anything, the Planet X thing. But I called them up and told them there was going to be strandings, and then they happened. So I think I have some credibility with this group, and we're emailing data back and forth. But I don't want to mention the group. I don't want things to get sabotaged. Somebody, call them up and badger them about me or discredit me, and then the research that I've done just goes out the window. And I've spent literally about 30 to 40 hours looking up these alignments and researching beachings, and and it's almost like clockwork. Every major significant beaching event happened on an alignment date, and usually with an alignment that we said was with a brown dwarf. It always seemed to involve our Planet X position. Not always, but almost every time. So amazing things that are happening here on planet Earth. And I just pray and hope that these guys who've learning how to control the weather will use it to do good and not to do bad. Because that is evil. I don't care how you justify it. Global food shortage or not. Until next time, be prepared, not scared.